Under the scorching sun of a quiet village in Texas, James, a weather-worn laborer with calloused hands and a back bent from years of toil, swung his pickaxe against the dry ground. His days were filled with sweat and silence, clearing rocky land for wealthy landowners who barely looked him in the eye. James wasn't bitter, but life had carved deep lines of quiet longing into his face. He had dreams, ones he dared not speak aloud. One afternoon, while digging near a dried-up creek bed, James's pick struck something harder than usual. Expecting another slab of stubborn rock, he knelt to examine it, and his breath caught. Nestled in the dust was a jagged, dull stone, but it shimmered faintly when sunlight hit it just right. He rubbed it with his shirt. It wasn't pretty, but something about it felt different. Curious and slightly amused, James pocketed the rock and carried on with his work. That night, after cleaning it further, he noticed tiny patterns inside, like frozen fire. Unsure what it was, but certain it held value, he decided to visit the town jeweler the next day. Maybe it was nothing, but maybe, just maybe, it was something that could change everything. The jeweler, Mr. Whitaker, was known for his sharp eye and sharper tongue. When James presented the stone, Whitaker snorted. "It's raw, uncut, probably worthless. Could be a fake. I'd have to test it, but I doubt it's worth my time." James stood silently. "Would you test it, sir, just to be sure?" Whitaker rolled his eyes. "Come back in a week. I'm busy." Disappointed but not defeated, James left the shop. As he walked past the open-air market, a traveling merchant with a golden scarf noticed the odd sparkle in James's pocket. "Hey there, friend. What's that you're carrying?" James hesitated. "Found it in the dirt while working. I took it to a jeweler. He said it's probably nothing." The merchant leaned in, examining it closely. His eyes widened. "How much are you asking for it?" "I'm not sure. I haven't even had it tested." The merchant smiled. "I'll give you $200 for it right now." $200. For a man like James, that was almost 2 weeks' pay. His heart raced. It could be a lucky break, or he could be selling something far more valuable. He asked, "Why do you want it so quickly?" The merchant shrugged. "I've seen enough to know its worth, but if you'd rather wait..." James thought for a long second, then said, "No, I want to know the truth. Thank you, but I'll keep it a little longer." That night, James sat by the fire, holding the stone, battling doubt. Was he foolish to refuse the offer? Was he chasing shadows? A few days later, he returned to the jeweler, who finally agreed to test it. After some time in his back room, Whitaker returned pale-faced. This is an uncut sapphire. A big one, easily worth thousands, maybe tens of thousands if cut properly. He paused. "If you're selling, I can give you $2,000 now. Cash." The sudden change in tone made James wary. "You said it was worthless." "I was mistaken. Happens to the best of us," the jeweler said, masking his regret. James looked him in the eyes, then shook his head. "No deal." Word spread quickly. Within days, a gem dealer from the city contacted James and arranged a meeting. The dealer examined the stone with specialized tools, made a few calls, and offered him $15,000 on the spot. James accepted. In a week, the laborer, who once couldn't afford to buy boots without budgeting for 2 months, had purchased his own land where he would no longer labor for someone else, but build a modest home and open a small stone workshop. He never forgot what the stone taught him. Value is not always visible, and not every opportunity comes dressed in gold. But the story didn't end there. Months later, the merchant in the golden scarf returned to town and heard what had happened. He shook his head with admiration. He saw what others didn't. He waited while others hesitated. He chose to believe in possibility, not fear. As for the jeweler Whitaker, he sat in his empty shop, bitter and alone, replaying the day he dismissed a miracle as mere dust. The missed opportunity haunted him more than he admitted. He never underestimated a raw stone or a man again. Moral of the story: opportunities don't wait, but neither do they beg for attention. Sometimes they appear disguised as burdens, hidden in dust. The world often overlooks what's rough, raw, or imperfect. But those who dare to believe, who take a chance on potential instead of surface shine, are the ones who transform their lives. When others hesitate, act. When others doubt, stay firm. For the chance of a lifetime rarely announces itself. It waits quietly, hoping you're bold enough to see it.